Hi, hello Mr. Faris. My name is Danish Kumar. This is my managerial and cost accounting assignment 1. So this is prepared for you, Muhammad Faris bin Muhammad Daniel. Okay, the first question is the differences between managerial and financial accounting. So when it comes to managerial accounting, we produce managerial accounting is to get useful information for companies' internal decision making. So the documents account for companies can be from resources such as raw materials, labor, equipment in ways to help executive to maximize their efficiency. So it is created for companies executive. So if you want to pursue in medical accounting, so you can get a certified management accountant designation. So whereas in financial accounting, it produces such documents such as income statement and balance sheet for external parties like investors, creditors, and industrial regulators to actually monitor, or they want to record, they want to see. So the recording and summarizing the stream of transaction and economic activity resulting from business operation. So if you want to if you want to become a financial accountant, you have to get a certified public accountant. Still on the same question. So when it comes to user presentation, so financial accounting is used externally, investors, regulators, and for cost and management, it's used internally, for executives, internal executives. Then for the legal and rules, it drafted according of IFRS. So we have a standard to follow in financial accounting. Whereas in cost and management, it's drafted according to management suitability. So example, different management, different in different companies, they produce different goods. They need different. They will have different labor costs. They will have uh, different labor costs. They will have different raw materials. So it is done drafted according to the management suitability. So when it comes to time frame, so financial accounting usually have historical data. They cannot produce futuristic data. For cost and management, it has some kind of futuristic data for future planning. So someone who wants to expand their production in the particular business, they can use cost and management. So the reporting frequency is well defined. So financial accounting, they do it quarterly, and it's very well defined. It's very ethical and very well defined. Whereas in cost management, it's done whenever it's needed. So like example, as a new someone comes with a new idea of a new business idea, and then that's where it is done. Then we go to the segment reporting. So the financial accounting is described in as a whole organization. So their financial yearly, quarterly financial reporting is done based on their whole organization. Whereas in cost management, in the whole organization, they have a small part. Example, HOD wants to start a new product, so the HOD will come up with their cost management. So the degree of precision in financial accounting, it's objective in principle. For cost management, it's very more to subjective. Then we proceed with the second question, which is objective of cost accounting. So, which is also the functions of cost accounting. So when it comes to production, the objectives are of cost of manufacturing a product. Example, it can be direct material, direct labor, production overhead. For administration, it is indirecting and controlling the business. So example can be audit fees, utilities, and office rent. For marketing, marketing is one of the most important, where publicizing, distributing, and attracting customer towards the product happens. So example, advertising, securing orders, and also after sales services. Then we move on to selling, which is also a part of marketing. So in selling, discount allowed happens, salesman salary and commission happens. Then we move on to distribution. So in distribution is also a part of marketing, which is usually the logistic part happens, the warehousing rent, the warehouse maintenance, storage, transport, LIFO, FIFO, all happens here. And then also for publicity is also a part of marketing, where advertising and promotions aids sales of goods and services. The cost might happen is publicity cost, advertising cost. Then we move on to finance. So the cost in finance is the cost where finance activities of the business. Where example, the cost can be interest, commitment fees, dividend expenses for investors and all. And we go into R&D, research and development, which is also one of the most important. So in R&D is where you actually seek new ideas, new materials, new methods of improvement. So the cost usually happens is laboratory maintenance, researcher salary, and cost of feasibility. Then we move on to the third questions. So behavior of variable costs versus fixed costs. So when it comes to variable costs, it is change on the amount. It is change based on the amount of output produced. Example, as increase in production, variable cost rises. When there's decrease in production, it falls. For example, it can be labor, commission, packaging, utility expenses, and raw materials for production. Then we come into fixed costs. So in fixed costs, it is same regardless of how much production output is. So usually the company cannot avoid fixed costs. So it happens in the example of fixed cost is lease and rent payment, property tax, and insurance. Then we move on to the fourth question. The fourth question is which is more relevant to me, financial accounting or managerial accounting? I prefer managerial accounting because of the objectives of the accounting. It is more into marketing, which is my field as well. Uh, so basically, in managerial accounting is when where I understand the insights of a particular company as a business as a whole. So I understand, but also I will get to know insights of it. So where I can help an organization help to expand and grow. If their purpose and goal is in the right place, I will definitely we can definitely work together to build the product to the world. Definitely when this particular managerial skill can actually expand and get more data and particular products. So I think managerial accounting is more relevant to me. Then the last question is conclude why is relevant for you to study managerial and cost accounting. Why is it relevant? When it comes to business, it is very important and relevant for people in business environment to study manager and cost accounting. It is an unavoidable thing, one unavoidable subject they have to get themselves involved in. So when they do that, they get the insights of a particular business. So when they have a managerial accounting skill, they can actually forecast a particular business whether they can expand and make more profit. They can do their market research, they can do their advertising, extend, etc., etc. So I think it's very very important for business people to get to know managerial accounting. So that's all for my conclusion. That's all for my assignment one, sir. Thank you, Mr. Faris. Thank you so much.